Yeah.
Yeah. And they take the channels off, and then your bill will get cheaper.
Yeah.
Which stands his wood.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No meeting to order. Motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda with flexibility of hiring a full-time deputy auditor. It's on the agenda after executive sessions.
Motion to have a second.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Public comment.
I'm just gonna say one thing, this is for future reference. According to the open meeting laws, the board is allowed to change the posted agenda anytime before it's approved by during the meeting.
I'd like to thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. At the last meeting, during the conversation on bid manipulation, it was clearly stated, and I'm going to paraphrase, that the chair was going to have a motion at this meeting to have Bros survey the whole thing in reference to the dam up in the southeast corner of the county. What item on the agenda is that coming in on today? Thank you.
I said I would like to have it done. Didn't say it was going to get done. Anything else?
Thank you.
I have some comments and questions. A little update for Blue. You asked me in the last meeting where Bros Engineering was during the 2019 floods. So I'd like to update you on that. I went through some past records from our meetings and stuff. Bros Engineering attended almost half of our meetings at that time in 2019. They were a stable face in our commissioner meetings in 2019. They were also working hand in hand with the highway department shop out there with the highway superintendent, being here very regularly to help us get through the flooding situation and the repairs. Second of all, LTAP was also here at quite a few of our meetings, and LTAP was also working with our highway superintendent continuously during those floods. So I figured I would give you an LTAP of where Bros Engineering is. I'm still curious though why Bros Engineering is at very few of our meetings now, or LTAP. I haven't seen LTAP in this county for almost 2 years now, or heard anything about them. And on that, we used to get highway department updates, like what was going to happen, where things were going with our highway department. We haven't got any highway updates from our highway superintendent in quite a few meetings now. So I'm curious why that's like no longer on the agenda. So those are my statements. I know I'm not probably going to get any answers. And I am curious as well, you guys tabled a motion last time with the bid openings, and there's nothing on your agenda and nothing got added to the agenda about the bid opening process. So I'm kind of curious, you guys tabled it at the last meeting, why it's not getting forwarded on to this meeting so we can get an update on the bid process. Yeah, I think the big question in the room for the public is, what's the status on our auditor right now? Where you just adding or hiring a full-time deputy auditor. What's the status of our auditor right now?
Are you done?
No, I asked a question. I'm asking where our auditor is and what the status of her is.
I don't know where she's at.
How do we hire a deputy auditor if nobody knows where the auditor is at? Isn't that office under the control of the auditor?
Are you done?
No answers to the auditor question?
No answers. No comment.
I guess I'll leave it there for right now. Thank you for your time.
I'll make a comment on the bid deal. Sarah said the last time we have 30 days to make our mind up on a bid, so we got another meeting yet.
So we're extending that till the next meeting. Okay, I just wanted an update. Thank you very much.
Executive session, legal counsel.
I think we have
Oh,
one more, sorry.
Hi there, George Larson, Meals on Wheels, Western South Dakota. Just want to give you a couple minutes and some updates about the Meals on Wheels out of Benton County Senior Center, if that's okay?
Okay.
Okay. Meals on Wheels, Western South Dakota partnered with Benton County Senior Center in July of 2021 when they were having some challenges at that time. Since then, we have been able to make sure that the seniors of Benton County have been able to receive congregate meals there at the center, as well as home delivered meals wherever it needs to be, both in town and out of town through the Benton County Senior Center. Currently, right now, we are budgeted to serve about 25,000 meals, 24,000 plus here out of the center. We are currently serving about 5% of all the households in Benton County. And currently, we're bringing in about $250,000 to the local Benton County area for our budgeted expenses through gas and food and labor and things like that. Unfortunately, of that $250,000, right now we are expecting to have a shortfall of about $89,000. I probably saw that article in the paper about that. For the past several years, we've been able to supplement all of our 64 communities that we serve across Western South Dakota with funds from stimulus funds to help expand due to that. Unfortunately, our reserves have been depleted to the point where we can't continue to keep doing that. We're looking forward and looking for as many partners in the communities that we serve, whether it be the city level, the county level, the individual business level, the seniors themselves, to see what we can do to go through that shortfall so that continuously we can make sure we can keep serving the seniors across Western South Dakota, but specifically here today in Benton County. Just want to start the conversation today. I've got some information I'll be able to share as far as specifics, as far as budget items, things like that. But my ask, again, whatever that, as we go down the road together, is to be able to fund about 10 seniors at $1,320 each from the county level. That'd be $13,200 a year. The senior center is willing to match that out of their funds that they have, as well as we've had conversations with the tribe, and we'll have a meeting with the city next week as well. Hopefully they can do that same. That'll take care of the lion's share of that. Be happy to go as much detail as possible. That's kind of the overview information that I have at this time to share. And again, be happy to spend hours talking about the issue.
The funds you're seeking, that's annually, right? It's just not a one-time thing?
Correct.
well, I know there's a lot of seniors that sure do appreciate that. You said 5% of the county is what you're doing now.
5% of the households, yes, sir.
Can I ask just for individuals that maybe want to contribute or donate, is
Yep.
there a process for that?
Yep, and so we can either, individuals that like to set up to donate, we're kind of asking anybody who can do the $110 a month level to adopt one of the seniors we're trying to do right now. Our budget shortfall is about 70 seniors we're short. We have already have commitments for 4 of those seniors. The staff itself at the Benton County Center is going to take one. Butch here in town, so the board is taking another. We've got 2 other individuals taking on. So that leaves about 66 that are still left on that. But yeah, you can give it to Mary. Every single dollar, every penny that is raised in Benton County, in Martin, 100% of those dollars go nowhere besides to make sure that Mary and her team gets taken care of. My salary gets paid from the state and federal grant, a little bit that is that of this portion. But again, 100% of the dollars stay there. Talk to Mary. She'll make sure the funds go to take care of the program here.
Okay, thank you.
Did the senior citizen board look into, they have an Evelyn Roven horse
Yes, ma'am.
endowment, did they look into that?
Yes, ma'am. That's what I was talking about, having offered to do the match. They're willing to do, they can do up to that percentage. They've got a certain percentage as the interest, plus they'll be dipping into the reserves. Honestly, if they did 100% of that, it would be gone in a year. And so we're trying to make sure it's a long-term sustainable thing versus, again, it's a crisis mode now, but if they did everything to that and nobody else came in, the next year our program would definitely end.
can't do nothing on it this meeting.
Yes, sir.
But we can put it on the agenda for next meeting.
Perfect. I'll be here anytime you need me and happy to have conversations one-on-one or as a group as need be. So I'll leave some information. I'll stay to the end, give you some information where we are as well. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any more public comment? Executive session.
I'll make a motion to executive session for legal counsel SDCL 1-25-2, parentheses 3, with the commissioners and Sarah.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We are on executive session at 9:41. I think that's where Tim sits there. There you go.
You can sit right there if you want.
What's that?
You can sit right there if you want.
Well, would you make me do anything?
Depends.
Can I kick people out of the meeting? Hell, I'll sit right there all fucking day.
I tried that earlier.
Good, Tim? We are out at 10:16. There's no action taken.
Did you need this? Maybe? For personnel? You did, okay.
Executive session.
I'll do it again.
Okay.
Executive session for personnel. 1-25-2, parentheses 1, Commissioners Lene and Sarah. Please.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We are back in executive session at 10:16. We are back in at 10:45.
I make a motion to hire Lene Johnston as deputy auditor and to continue as DOE for a yearly salary of $60,000, effective as of February 21st, 2024. That's my motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Approved corrected claims list for February 2024. That's these ones.
These ones are actually from the end of January that did not get approved yet, and then this list here is for February. These are all the claims that we paid that after corrections were made.
Okay. This one here, what's it pertain?
And that is to the hospital.
Yes.
So that was all arrests that were made. Some of it was for drug and alcohol testing. The rest is just medical treatments. And I did talk to Jason about it.
Yeah.
Jason, you want to enlighten us on this $12,800 bill
For the hospital.
from the hospital?
I don't have the actual bill in here, but it's the one I came and asked you about it. It's just all the arrests and medical,
Is that your guys'
the blood alcohol testing and stuff.
That's, a lot of it's when the PD makes an arrest and they get hurt, they go up to the hospital, we pay it.
So like
I
when,
don't have it, I have it now.
when I hear the scanner go off and someone gets tased,
If they go to the hospital, we pay it, because they're in custody. Once they get put in handcuffs, they go up there, they're in custody. The county gets stuck with the bill.
Jason, do we know if it's from one occurrence or if it's like several
I
different
think
for
it's
a
several.
few months?
That's several.
This is all 1 month,
Okay.
but there's several different people that we're seeing.
Then we're getting stuck with the blood draws too. When they take them up there to do blood draws for DUIs,
We always do, I believe, because we get reimbursed when they go through court and they have to pay the fee.
we get reimbursed, okay. That's what that is.
Thank you.
and then, bottom on page 2.
Correction risk service for $4,470.
Yeah, that's more inmate medical, and that was, a bill that we get every month, but it has not been paid for, I think, 3 months, so that's about 3 months worth of bills there.
Someone keeps it other than I can.
This one here, power plant, yeah.
It's for blade repairs. Should have been paid a while ago. It just got put in back in February though.
And that's on Eddie's blade.
This Eddie's blade.
That was on Eddie's blade. So that bill was back in last year, right?
I think she did the voucher for it December 6th,
So it should have been paid in last year's.
in December.
I don't know how much interest got put on that.
They charge us any interest?
They don't know yet, not yet.
You got, Jason, how many inmates you got in?
I don't think it's about 4 or 5 right now.
I'm good.
I'll make a motion to approve the correction claims list from February and claims, right?
And probably if you want to approve the end of January month end.
Alright. My motion is to approve correction claims list for February 2024 and the January 2024 end of month claims.
We have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a second, all in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
And let's sign off the others. That one was.
Sheriff's Office, Highway Safety Grant.
Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna give you this before I actually set it off again. That was the panic alarm system we discussed from back in November. So wherever you guys decide to put that button, that's for this room. So I don't set it off again and piss everybody off.
Is it loud?
No.
Can we try it?
It's annoying because there's alerts in our office, there's also alerts that go to their company outside the office, so it just bothers a lot of people.
So don't
Okay.
put it underneath where you can get it underneath.
Right, yeah, so basically, we ran into some issues with our highway safety grant for this year. So originally, when we looked into it, we were told that we would be able to take our existing server, convert it to a different operating system, continue running it without having to replace the server at all. Once the engineers and the techs got involved with it, they told us that is a very bad idea and we strongly do not recommend you do this because of some updates that are coming out within the next few years that are going to overtax the system in its current configuration. That was the first issue we ran into. The second issue we ran into was there were some items that were left off the quote that are needed to make it run the way that it's supposed to. So those items had to get put on there. And then the third issue is actually an oversight on my part. With the new in-car camera system, they don't synchronize with our existing body cameras. So to keep the existing synchronization between the body cam and the dash cam, we would have to upgrade the body cams along with them, which that was an oversight on my part. In total, I chewed the guy out for the mistakes on their end, but it did increase the quote. I got him to knock $20,000 off the quote, but it's going to end up being $16,465.72 over what we budgeted.
It was gonna be 36,000.
Yes, but I got him to knock that 20,000 off, and here in the email he straight up told me he's like, I'm probably gonna get my ass chewed for it because of how much of a discount he did cut me on it. But it still leaves us with about $16,400 that we didn't budget for him.
old are them body cameras?
They're coming up to about 4 years. We're starting to have some issues with those with battery life, getting them through the entire shift. The new ones they've actually gone to a detachable battery, so it would allow each body camera to have 2 separate batteries. So one would be in the camera running it, and the other one would be docked in the vehicle charger. So we would essentially eliminate the issue of a body camera going dead in the middle of the shift. In
When they
terms,
go dead, do they beep or something, like, you know?
they got a light that flashes, but there's no
That's
auto beep. Yeah. We have had some issues in the past where we have had them die mid traffic stop or mid arrest. So we've had to work through that. In terms of the actual server, I've already found a new life for that. I actually talked to Sarah once. If we end up getting a new server, her office can use the old one. It's a 16 terabyte server to store all the video once it gets over there. So we're not totally just junking that server. So it will still be used by the county.
Are those body cam worth anything to any other department?
They might be. I haven't reached out and asked anybody. I don't know of any agency that is still actively using them without being in the process themselves of switching over. Because every agency that I know of, they either have a newer model than that, or if they got that model, they're in the process themselves of making the same change.
So what was the original amount that you told us that you budgeted for?
The original amount, all right. So the original quote was $23,014, and $14,400 of that was covered under the grant.
So the county had,
Yeah, that's a figure I didn't prepare for. About $8,600, and that was put into our 24 budget, so that was figured in.
and so what you're asking for, the county share that's gonna be,
Yeah, so that share is it's gonna be $16,400 that we did not budget for, and that's the server and the cameras and the other figures that they did not put in the original quote that were supposed to be in there. And that did come with a $20,000 discount.
And how old is our server now?
The server now is about 4 years old. But it comes down to a lot of the biggest issues is when we got the system, it was owned by WatchGuard, and shortly after we got it, WatchGuard was bought out by Motorola. And so in their process, they moved the new server the new software from being run on Windows to now it's run on Linux. So it's a totally different operating system. And so we were going to upgrade or change the server from a Windows-based server to a Linux-based server. When they got into that, it became an issue with, well, if we do this, how do we take the last 4 years worth of videos that we have and convert it into the new software, or do we all just straight up lose it? And so the answer was, if we convert the software, we're going to lose the last 4 years of our videos. So we're going to do a virtual server, which did not get into all the technical details of it. It doesn't get like a computer on a computer. And that's where they got in and said, we really don't recommend you try to do this because it's going to have some major performance issues.
so how long, if we tell them to do it, how long will it take them to have the system in and up and running?
It's going to be a few months before they probably get it up and running because their techs are going to come on site to do all the setup and configuration of it.
So my question would be, can we pay half of the 16,000 that isn't budgeted this year and half, say, in January of 2025? Would they?
Probably not, be my guess.
Even with their big mistake?
Probably not, because the big thing is right now, I'm already probably going to get in trouble from the state for a grant because it mandates that we order the equipment by January 31st. So I'm probably already going to get my ass chewed there too. So this kind of came out to be a lot of different issues, and some of them were on them, and At least one of them was an oversight on my part.
What's your thought?
I don't know, we have a choice.
We go. What's the problem?
I'll make a motion that we add in another, whatever the balance is,
16,465.72.
16,475 to the, for this highway safety grant.
16,465.72.
Yep, that's it, for the highway safety grant.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? I'll second it. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Surplus 2012
Let that
Chevy
slip again.
Impala.
I'll do my best on that. So the Impala is a 2012 Chevy Impala. It's got 221,830-ish miles on it. It was a patrol car up until 2016. From 2016 to current, it has been used for transports. It did have a light bar mounted to the roof at one point, so there's some dents and things on the roof from that, as well as the holes associated with the different antennas and the light bar wires. Mechanically, I drove it the other day. It seems to be running fine. We've taken care of it over the years and done maintenance on it. But that is to get rid of that before the new unit shows up this summer.
Take some discussion on that by chance?
Okay.
So you currently have 2 deputies that are either using vehicles, sheriff's vehicles for private use or driving to Ogallala, Lakota County where they live. Would it be better used to have these employees use that car for their personal use versus surplusing it and saving miles on our sheriff's cars that they're driving back and forth now?
So we actually do not have any employee that resides outside of the county.
Oh, you moved here finally?
We don't have any employee that resides outside this county.
Super, we got an answer to that question. But you do have one that's using a vehicle for personal use.
So in terms of that,
Oh, hang on a second. Enlighten us on that, Jeb, would you please?
Yeah. Where's my phone? Deputy Goss is using the personal car in his private clothes to go down to the grocery store, get groceries, take them home. I believe he was using it for personal use when he was living out in the VTEL area too, from what I'm told. But I do have video of him using it in his civilian clothes for personal use. And I know that's become an ordinary standard ever since Deputy Glass came on, but at some point, and you commissioners have had it brought to your attention numerous times, but nothing ever seems to be getting done about all this personal use of vehicles, like going to Gordon to get food and stuff. It just never gets nipped in the bud.
I had a conversation with the sheriff. Can I explain unless Kevin, you want to?
yeah, I got it. So for those of you that do not know, our insurance company provides us model policies for many different aspects, one of which is the use of patrol cars. And this here is the policy that was given to us by our insurance company in its completely unaltered state. Under section D that I've highlighted, it says the following rules applies to those officers who are assigned to take home police vehicles. And we come down to right here, subsection F. Officers may use a vehicle to conduct personal business within city/county limits. This is a policy that was given to us by our insurance company. They have requested that we adopt this policy, and we have adopted that policy in its completely unaltered state right there. So I've looked into it, and I found no violations of the policy as provided to us by our insurance company.
And I just want to add, I did speak with both Deputy Goss and Sheriff Irwin. And on that day in particular that you're talking about, Mr. Goss was on call. I did ask him, he did go to the grocery store, and I asked him point blank, if you would have gotten a call while you were in the grocery store, what would you do? He said he would have dropped his stuff, he would have went to his vehicle, and he would have responded. He would have went home, he would have went home to change, he would have went home to switch vehicles out, he had his badge, he had his firearm, and so I see no problem with it. Now, if he would have said, oh, I'd have to go home and change my clothes, and I'd have to, then obviously he could have changed vehicles, but that wasn't the case.
And that actually is all set out in that policy, which you guys can review at any time. But it does mandate that all the radio and communication equipment remain active, the in-car camera system must remain active, and the individual officer or deputy is required to respond to all life-threatening calls that are in his area at any point in time.
Thank you, because we've asked that question numerous times about deputies using the vehicles, and it's great to finally get an answer.
That is a policy from the insurance company, and we have adopted that policy in its original form.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
How did you know he went home, Doug?
Video.
You followed him?
I was going that direction.
Thanks, Kevin.
So do we want to just put the Chevy Impala out for private bid?
We just have to surplus it
Surplus it.
and then decide. You have to
Yeah.
appoint.
Are you guys gonna have, you got
To
more
value
than,
it.
are you guys gonna have more things to surplus?
Off the top of my head, I don't think so, because all the equipment's gonna come out of it, some of it's gonna be reused for other vehicles.
I mean, other, just random other things. Like if you would sit down with the highway superintendent, I mean, years ago, they used to have an auction with the school and.
I mean, we could definitely sit down and see if there's anything else within the county that would have to get surplus. Right off the top of my head, I don't know if there's anything else that we have, but we can certainly look into that and come back to it at the next meeting or so.
You need a motion to surplus that?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to surplus the 2012 Chevy Impala.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
We need to appoint an appraisal.
Oh,
3 people. I think they have to be taxpayers, I think.
commissioners? Or,
Not me, I'm not a car person.
Bill, you wanna do it?
I don't care.
Dave? I'll volunteer myself.
Okay.
Motion is to surplus 2012 Chevy Impala. Bill, Vermont, Dave Bakley, and bid on it through the appraisal.
I have a motion, do I have a second? I have a second, all in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, motion carried. Highway Department, vehicle purchase.
I was just wondering what I could spend to get a pickup. Cause we're already a pickup down, and then if the weed board takes another one of our pickups, that leaves us with 2. The pickup that I drive and then our service pickup, and our service pickup's getting tired. But I think if we take,
You get the brown one too, don't you?
still waiting for it to get fixed.
What do you mean? You still got 3 vehicles.
Well, I mean, yeah, but we've been waiting on it to get fixed for 3 months now.
And it needs to go to market.
Sitting at the shop.
The-
So we had a new clutch put in it, and then it's one of the hydraulic clutches, and we're having issues with getting it bled for some reason.
You also need a trailer.
Yes, we do.
What have you found out there?
What's that?
What have you found out there right now?
I've found a lot for decent pickups. I mean, nothing that's brand new, nothing that's fancy. You don't need anything like that. What just need reliable. And you can spend anywhere from, well, I mean, it just depends on what you wanna get. If you wanna get a dually or a 1-ton to be able to put, what I think we should do is get a 1-ton, and that becomes a service pickup slash when we gotta haul culverts around, or we can get a mini excavator bought at some point where we can haul that kind of stuff around, and it just becomes a service pickup, and then that way it's not putting too much weight on our other pickup. They're getting tired.
What kind of prices have you seen on 1-ton?
From 18,000 to the ones that the bodies are more beat up on to 90,000. So, I mean, there's a big gap in there. It's just all depending on what we get. Main thing I look at is just reliable. Where we don't buy it, and then 2 months from now we gotta put $20,000 worth of parts into it.
Right. What were you guys hauling the snow blower with?
A red and white pickup and Lane's trailer.
And that was too much for that red and white pickup, wasn't it? That's
35 miles.
That's the one that's going back to the week one.
so,
Cause that white Ford, the tranny's out of it, and it's got a boatload of blow by and metal shavings in the oil.
yeah, that one.
Is that a clutch and inner slave cylinder?
Mhm.
Is that why they won't? It is? So yeah, tear the tranny off.
Again,
And make sure they change both slave and.
They did, but we're still having issues with it.
And
Once it
who's
gets
supposed to
warmed
fix
up,
it?
what's that?
Who's supposed to fix it?
Yes, please. But they said that they
is it
pick
down
up.
there at their place now?
No, it's at the shop. Just waiting for an opening to get it down there.
What do you think?
Take it to a transmission.
No pickup purchase.
Cause we got a lifter knocking in the one that I drive to.
Or you wanna see where?
Why don't you look for pickups?
Well, I just need to know a price range.
Well, between 18 and 30.
18 and 30. Okay.
1-ton dually, 4-wheel drive,
Okay.
and
There's one in Scottsbluff right now, and I already looked at it when I went to my mom and dad's. It's a nice pickup.
get with your highway guys and they can kinda, and then the next meeting we can vote on it. That work?
If Gasway isn't gonna fix that pickup, I can get a trap. I can take it, so.
And then I'd also like you to look for a good used gooseneck.
How much do you want to spend on that? Because they range from,
Yeah.
depends on how beat up you want, and if you want tandems.
Mm-hmm. Pickup, so they can put that blower motor, that snow blower on it in the winter time. And they can hold culverts. I mean, I cannot believe there's not a trailer out there.
Cause I did find a pickup trailer and a Mini X all in one package deal for $74,000. That's for the trailer, the Mini X, and the pickup. And from the pictures, it looks nice. And the Mini X only has just a little over $2,200. And that would save us a little bit of money in the long run on being able to put culverts in ourselves. And dig out the culverts that get dams. but I didn't wanna call anybody and ask them if they could hold a pickup until I got the okay to buy one.
Is that 74,000, is that from a dealer,
Private.
private, so they're not gonna finance? We couldn't
Probably not.
finance it.
Do they have aftermarket, like insurance? We can insure these vehicles. Yeah, they don't.
Well, they're insured. Or
I mean, warranty.
Oh, warranty.
I suppose you could have. But the older it is, probably the more expensive it would be, I would imagine. But,
Right now, I think it'd be worth it.
yeah, but they see the age of some of that stuff, they probably just laugh.
Well, Lonnie has like 2012, 13, and she has aftermarket one,
You know what that cost?
like $100.
Through this deal, we could get a brand new one for $47,914.
Pick up?
That's the state contract price.
Well, I was just
Yeah.
throwing it out there.
Or you want to just,
Well,
I'll skip together the quote and
Yep.
make a decision next.
Did you look at federal surplus?
There ain't hardly nothing up there.
There, yeah. And the stuff that they do have had is astronomical priced.
Yeah, they're hiring dealers. Don't make sense.
For a pickup that had 80,000 miles and it was not in the best condition, they wanted 40,000 for it.
Just give it together the quote later.
And then I'm sure they can hold it for a week. You know,
What are the price ranges we're looking at though?
1837 on the pickup and I think of what, 10K on the trailer.
Okay.
I mean, they all county entity, they're all old.
I don't know. So do you not wanna consider the mini excavator deal? Just asking.
I don't.
Not right now. Okay.
do you have anything else?
Would you have our budgets or by next meeting?
Oh, by the next meeting, hopefully, yeah. It's,
Cause I think every department's wanting to know
yeah,
where we're at.
I'll have to do January's month end and February's.
Alright, we'll talk to you later on then.
The only other thing that I had was those mining, whatchamajills, that I didn't know what to do with them.
Yeah, fill them out. We'll fill them.
Because we only have,
Melissa, do you know anything about this?
Very little. Apparently it was sent to me and it was supposed to have been done, but I don't remember ever receiving that, so.
It's all the mines that's open.
Yep.
That's it.
and how much we take out of it, and how much has been taken out of it.
Okay.
But we only, I mean, that's a short order type deal, I think we only got like 20 days left, or else they toll all our permits.
Who's been doing it in the past?
I have no,
Is this an every year deal or?
I have no idea, there wasn't,
No. What is the every year deal? I was wondering who's been doing it. Okay. What on after the meeting?
Highway secretary usually does it.
Yeah.
Paula did, I think Paula did last year. Did Joe do some? Okay. Well, there you go.
Anything else?
You wanna give us a, report, road report to the county?
as far as,
What you guys are doing?
we fixed potholes over west of Ray Hills. Got pretty much all of the rough spots kind of bladed as we can through the wet and through being dry. We got Loudon's Road fixed for now until we can get the shoulders pulled. We've got a lot of places spot gravelled, but the roads are in pretty good shape.
You've been working on the highway a little bit?
Yeah, and we got millings hauled to the old highway. We run out of millings, and hopefully we'll get some. Hopefully I can be able to find some more millings for.
Have you talked to the city?
Yeah, and they don't.
Paul said he would let us have 2 dump truck loads.
That would get us another.
Recently?
Last year, and we never took them.
Oh, I thought we did.
No.
No, we never hauled anything out from the city because we still had that pile in the yard.
Oh.
So, with the old highway, I'm checking into seeing what it would cost to get a tanker load of oil and then just mix our own cold mix to put on to hopefully patch the roads better than the millings, because the millings don't seem to be working.
They're thinking of putting millings and putting this cold mix on top of it. Making our own cold mix, make it a lot cheaper.
Because the tanker load of oil, if you did the whole entire highway, a tanker load of oil will do 3/4 of a mile. That's 4 inches thick and 15 foot wide. But if we're just gonna do it as far as spot patching, if my math is close, we should be able to patch every spot, the whole old highway, with 1 tanker load.
Really? That'd be nice.
But I'm waiting for prices on that, so I don't know what that's gonna cost.
Have you talked to Paul at all about that tanker? Well,
no, I haven't.
Talk to him about that, because there's different grades and different mixtures of that, and he's very knowledgeable on that, and yeah, talk to Paul. He's in the city's got a tanker for tar. If we had to borrow it, I'm sure he'd help with us. They always did.
Through Kroll and Rapid, they would come deliver it, but I haven't got prices on any of that, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if it'd be cheaper for us to go get it, or I don't have any of the specs on that yet.
Normally they bring it down and pump it into the city's tanker, because it's an insulated tanker for hot mix.
Oh, yeah.
Tar. But yeah, if you talk to Paul, he'll tell you everything he knows. He's very knowledgeable on asphalt.
Okay, I'll get in touch with him. Is there any other specifics? Question?
What grade are all running right now?
Except for Bill's that's in Murphy's
Oh, yeah.
for that.
Bolt.
Yeah, it holds the differential. And it's leak included there. And that's not something that we could fix, because you gotta take both tandems off and drop the axle to do it. And we don't have a crane or.
Right.
Not to compliment the road department for clean yard, clean shop, organization. And getting things up to snuff, machinery wise. That's my commitment.
I had 2 landowners comment me Sunday about the work they did on the road. They took the washboards out. I'm very happy with the crown back in it.
Thank you.
I want to start thinking about pulling up roads, so I think it's March.
That's what I was thinking too. Start pulling shoulders. Dry now.
The part that makes me nervous is you throw this much dirt, loose dirt up on top. Right now we have summer pack. So, I mean, yeah, some roads get muddy, but you throw this much dirt up and we get a foot of heavy wet snow. If we were towards the end of this month, I'd feel a lot more comfortable with it.
I've seen a foot of snow in January or April.
I see it goes on 15th of May.
It is, I mean, it's just a risk you gotta take.
Yeah. Can't wait for it.
But I recommend you pull the gravel off to one side. So then that way you pull that up, put that gravel back on there. It's gonna take longer, but at least if you do, you got some, little bit of gravel left.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Employee travel reimbursement for training.
That's that one we held on.
Yeah.
on Ed. So it was originally turned in at 51 cents a mile. The South Dakota Administrative Rules states that if a vehicle is available, if the county vehicle is available and they choose not to do it, then they only get paid out at 28 cents a mile instead of 51. So I am, I guess, resubmitting that for Ed. At 21 cents a mile, the total would be $57.68.
Motion to reimburse.
I'll second that. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Golden West right-of-way application.
What's this out?
Between 16,000.
Is that in the county?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Just right. What's the town?
Yeah.
Who's there?
It's down here. There's Martin. That's a good shop right there. Okay. It's either gotta be for Harris's or Elton Cassidy.
Probably Alden Cassidy. I bet that's what it is. 'Cause he put a new house out there in his
Okay.
switching his old to shop. He said something to me about getting hold of that software, so I'm sure that's probably where it's at.
I'll make a motion to approve right away application. For Golden West.
I have a motion, do we have a second? Second. We have a second, all in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
You sign. And is Colton still here? I'll need his signature too.
Yes.
We need your signature.
Oh.
Can you sign this? Okay.
And then employment application, is that,
That's that one.
Huh?
For you. The employment application.
Do I need to go into executive session for that one, don't we?
yes,
Probably.
Okay, I'll make a motion to go into executive session for personnel, right, Sarah? Or is that Janelle?
Discuss qualifications, competence, performance, character, or fitness of any public officer, employee, or prospective public officer or employee. So yes,
Okay.
it would be 1-25-2, sub 1.
Commissioners, Sarah, Renee, and Colton.
we have a motion, and a second. I'll second that. All in favor, signal by saying aye.
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 Aye, any opposed? Motion motion carried. We are now back in the executive session, 11:28. We are back in at 11:37. No action required or taken. Old new business. Going once, twice. I'm making a motion to adjourn this meeting. Have a second. All in favor, signal by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? This meeting is now adjourned at 11:37. I'm waiting for you, Tim.
That,
I'm waiting for you.
making motions.
No, no action required.